Hello, Minecrafters. My name is Choose a Color, and I'm going to be explaining how to use the Minecraft fishing bot. So there's going to be two things that you need to install before you can start using the Minecraft fishing bot, and that is AutoHotkey. You can install that through AutoHotkey.com. And the next thing is the Minecraft fishing bot. You want to extract the files and open up the folder. What you want to be clicking on is Fishing Bot V8. Double click on that. In the lower right hand corner of your screen, you're going to have the H saying that it is running. And in Minecraft, you're going to have the Ctrl+k for starting fishing and the Ctrl+p to kill the program. So let's start fishing. Ctrl+k. So one thing that we did remove from the bot is the box. And the box was used for identifying where you were looking for. If you want to have the box, you press and hold F7 to view where it is. It will show you exactly what it's looking at all times. So while we're on the bobber, we'll look in the bobber. While we're in the action bar, we'll look in the action bar. So this is the box, and that's how you get it back. If I let go of F7, it will disappear. I also programmed another feature into the bot, and that is the rod break function. Say your rod is on its last bit of health before it goes into the red, it will automatically detect that there's no more durability on the rod and switch to the next rod. It will detect consecutive rods in a row that they are broken and skip to the next rod as well. You'll see that quickly here. So you just saw the rod break feature, and it skipped the other rods that were in the inventory or action bar that were broken as well. And then it went to the next good rod, which was the enchanted rod. So one thing I want to explain is there is a light level requirement, and this is why I like to fish indoors. So I made a little template of what I would normally build, which is a 4x4 area for your water and your back wall, which is important. And I have a little bit of an overhang to cover me from the rain. What I also did was I knocked out the last two blocks as well to encourage rainfall to come through. And this allows you to fish with protection and in your home base, if you have this built in your base, without much interruption. So let's turn on the weather. And let's see how fast this fishing bot can go. With the rain falling on the bobber, I believe it's a 25% increase in fishing up a fish. So one other feature that I want to explain that I've introduced into this last version of the bot is that you could fish while it's playing in the background. So you want to actually press F3 and P to disable. If you press enabled, that means it will pause. If you press F3 and P and disable the pause function, you will not pause while you exit the screen. So while we're doing that, let's go ahead and view the code. So we're going to go to Minecraft and we're going to right click this and we're going to edit script. So I don't want to show you the code, but if you have troubles or if you want to just examine what's going on, this is the code. So the first thing that's going to happen is you go to your script function and it loops through this over and over again. And all it does is it shows you the Ctrl+k for fishing to start fishing and the Ctrl+p to start and to exit. That's all it does. The next thing is you want to do is the search function. The first thing that it does is bobber search. And what bobber search does is it finds the image, which is bobber underscore 3.png. It finds that image and it updates the search function for that image to 1 or 0. We get that image result, and if search is 1, we put bobber found as 1, and if we don't, we put bobber found as 0. When it comes down, the first thing that it's going to do is bobber search for this function of bobber search, and it's going to do the toolbox if it's 0. Toolbox is another thing we're going to explain in a moment, but the main portion of the function is when the bobber is found. So when bobber is 1. What it's going to do is it's going to update the tracking and it's going to give you a new X and Y value every millisecond to give you an updated number of where it's tracking it. If it doesn't find bobber 0, it's going to break out of this while loop and go down to this if, and it's going to update the splash screen to nibble for 100 milliseconds. If it looks through bobber search again, if it doesn't find the bobber again, it will go ahead and go update your title to fish on. It will right click and it will sleep for 300 milliseconds. Then it will go back to search. It will go back to search. That's the fishing bot, and that's how it works. If the bobber search is 0, it goes to the toolbar search, which is what it's searching your action bar. And what it does is it loads up the hardware image, then it loads up all the images that we're looking for, and then it searches for each one individually, and it will give a code 1001, 1010, or 1100. And depending on which code it spits out, it will perform a different function. So if the toolbox is 0, it will actually give you an error saying toolbox wasn't found, and it gives you an error, or cannot, and it gives you a cannot confine action bar message. If it found 1, the rod is broken, then it will update the rod is broken, and it will wheel down to the next rod. If it found a normal rod, it will select that rod and right click to cast out the rod. If it finds an enchanted rod, it will do the same thing and right click and cast out the rod. If it doesn't find a rod or it was broken or anything else, it will try to look in the slot 5 additional times, and if it doesn't find anything, it will wheel down and go to the next slot. So that's toolbox search and bobber search in the code. And all that time I was fishing and I was not attentive to the game. So that's something that I did implement in the feature into the bot with the help of another auto hotkey coder. So that's the Minecraft fishing bot in a whole. If you have any questions, leave a comment below and subscribe if you would like to get more information and maybe an update on the bot if there was any other updates.